All right, guys, I'm gonna do a quick tortoise with the newer products that we have. So I'm gonna try and do this really quickly. So I'm gonna use the glass yellow from Wildflowers. Do a thin coat. And cure. And then I'm gonna use the Vitro 260 Jewel Topaz. And then I'm going to get this Jewel Umber, I don't know, 261 little pod open as well. So we're gonna let that cure for the 30 seconds. And then I'm going to take this Jewel, the bottle of the Jewel Topaz 260. I'm gonna put a thin coat. You don't want to make these like super thick. Okay, so we're gonna do a thin coat of that. Sorry, I'll try to keep this where it needs to be. Now, before you cure, you're gonna I kind of take like a pretty good dollop, and I like to make 3 splotches. I kind of like to put one up here by the cuticle, and you want to splotch it around so it doesn't look like a circle, and you want it to get lighter because we're gonna go over it and make it a little darker in another minute. So then I'm going to put another dollop down here, kind of come up the side a little bit. Do you see that? And just smear it around. Obviously, it's gonna depend on your client's nails, but I like to keep it in 3s because I feel like 4s starts to look too uniform. So rule of thumb is I try to keep it with 3 splotches. So again, I'm gonna come down here, splotch it out here. So you guys kind of see where we're at with that. I feel like that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and cure that. I'm gonna keep this stuff out. Now, we're gonna be doing another coat of one of these. It depends on if you want your tortoise to be more orangey, you'll use this for your second coat. If you want it to be a little bit more yellow, you'll use this. It's not gonna make a huge difference, but it doesn't matter really which one you choose to use. But the next thing we're gonna do is stick it. So I'll pull this out. Thin coat of Stick It. I love the Stick It in the bottle. It is my new favorite. Cure that real quick. Now we're done with Stick It. I'm just gonna get this black ready because we are gonna be using that. All right, and then I just got a tiny little piece of foil. I love the gold foil that's behind the reception desk, that big roll. If you don't know it's back there, there's a roll of gold and silver. And then I'm just gonna try and do, a little bit of gold foil. I don't want it to be too much, okay? So this is where I'm gonna take this little pod and I'm gonna go over those 3 splotches that we already did, but I'm not gonna completely go over them. I'm just going to go over a little bit and make smaller, darker splotches. And I kind of like to go over the foil a little bit because it adds a little bit more depth. Okay, so you see where we're at with this? I'm gonna cure. So now we are done with this. I'm gonna close that up, put it to the side. We're done with the foil. So yeah, still need this brush for the black. So this is where I was saying you can do either yellow or Jewel Topaz. I will try to show you half and half on here real quick. It's really not a huge difference, but I will try to show you. Okay, so let's do the top half with a second coat of just the yellow. It's going to keep the tortoise more of a yellow tortoise. Or if you want, you can do the last coat with the Vitro 260 Jewel Topaz. Like I said, it's not a huge difference. It just makes it a little bit more orangey. Can you guys see that? Now, just for the sake of time, obviously you would have just done either all yellow or all jewel topaz, but for the sake of time, I'm just gonna cure this. And then our last step is going to be just using your black art gel. So again, keeping with the 3 splotch theme, I'm going to get some black on here. I'm going to come on to these brown spots. I kind of tap my brush around, but I want to bring these spots over into the yellowy orangey, and I want them to be very, I don't want them to look like circles, guys, okay? So again, I'm going to bring another one down here. I don't want it to be the same size or the same shape. This one, I think I'm gonna bring over here, coming off of where the cuticle would be, and then up into the yellow again, not the same shape. So there's the 3 spots. This would be fine, except for that's my 3 main spots. I kind of like to add a couple little tiny ones, like coming off of the side a little bit there. Maybe this little guy has a little friend down here. And again, I might just do another tiny one. But again, I kept with my 3 main big splotches and just added a couple little guys just to bring it all together. And then I'm gonna cure this and top coat, and then I will be done.